Good afternoon. This is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness, and we're talking about Mercury in retrograde June of 2014. Now, just to give you a little bit idea, right now we are going through the shadow period. We are going through the station period already. So if you're already feeling some electronics or technological um, goof ups and obstacles, it's very typical to feel them more during the station period. And so, really, Mercury retrograde lasts is only 3 weeks, but the station period is a week before, and then going back, from the retrograde to direct that other station period at the end. So we kind of say it's 5 weeks, okay? And we've already started in that. And so with this new moon and everything that's just happened, and so let's talk a little bit about what is going on. Mercury retrograde, we always think, that all of a sudden the planet is turning, Mercury's going in a different direction. Can you imagine that? Well, it's not really like that. What's going on is kind of like if we're at a stoplight and the car next to us all of a sudden rolls back, we feel like we're moving forward, okay? And so even though we're not doing anything, now, even though it's the appearance that something new is going on, it's because we're on the tilt and the ecliptic, and so the energies are being pulled differently too. So it does affect us because remember, it's all connected to the universe. It's a magnetic pull, and since we are mostly water, okay, and and if you don't believe that, think about your lymph drainage system, which is on the superficial, and all that, you know, things that those bumps that people have, and here and there, and all those liquids and fluids and sweat and everything. And that's how come you could tell when someone has a lot of good water. The popular like Star magazines and people will say, "Oh my God, that person is so skinny, you can see their veins." That's because they got a lot of good water flowing through them. Okay, it's not because they're absolutely skinny. All right, it's because they're healthy with a lot of oxygen going through the veins and arteries. Really, is what's going on. It just the normal here in the United States, you don't have people very healthy. Let's be honest. You see the movies and TV shows from the 50s, and now we have a lot of people who are not unhealthy. So they're not used to seeing that, but it is very typical and healthy. So anyway, going on, you have that energy pull, okay? And with that energy pull, it still affects us. So, what's going on is, well, with Gemini, Gemini is all about communication and it dictates the third house. And it's ruled by Mercury. And so we got communication, we got travel, we got the neighborhood, siblings going on, cousins, being all involved in those themes of our lives. Okay, and so we'll see that on a general basis. Now remember, Mercury retrograde, okay, affects us more if we have personal planets, if our ascendant is in Gemini, if our sun is in Gemini or Virgo, our ascendant Gemini or Virgo, our ascendant Gemini Virgo, our sun Gemini Virgo, or our moon Gemini Virgo. And let's say we have a personal planet, okay, in Gemini, all right, or in Virgo. Because why in Virgo? Because Mercury rules Virgo also, okay? And so these are all the communications. Now remember, communications is not just what we say, okay? Sometimes it's our facial expressions, our hands. Remember sign language, singing, our throat chakra. So this is time for us to be aware of what's going on because Gemini rules our hands, our arms, okay? And also rules parts of our eyes and our lungs. Breathing that in, it rules our thyroid, hypothalamus area, okay? And the thalamus, which means, guess what it also rules? Our adrenals, and it affects our kidneys. Remember, kidneys are ruled by Libra, which is also an air sign, okay? But the adrenals are within there. And so that's very important to remember, which is, being affected by Gemini. So those of you who get panic attacks and those of you who don't sleep very well or you get into that fight, flight, or fright situations, you need to stay very grounded. Make sure, you're wearing vetiver essential oils, you're wearing your hematite and your garnets and moldavites to stay very grounded there, okay? Amber is a good grounding stone also. Malachite, so that will help you. And if not, if you're like me, or if it doesn't match, I don't want to wear it out, throw it somewhere special. And, as long as it's touching the skin, it will really help, okay? Also, too, is we remember that during this time it's squaring Neptune, so there's this fogginess, okay? And once again, I talked about this in the new moon, but a lot of people are going to feel like, oh, they're being betrayed, or I was disillusioned by you. No, we betray ourselves. We are disillusioned by ourselves because we put certain expectations, or we put interpretations in someone else's words. We assume. You know what they say about assuming? Assume makes an donkey out of you and me, and I'm being politically correct there, right? I guess not, because that would be a Democrat. So assuming means that, it'll make a Democrat out of you and me. I guess. I don't know. But anyway, try and be politically correct and you somehow end up offending someone else, right? So, but during this time anyway, is a lot of people say, oh, don't do anything new. Don't touch. Well, there's some truth to it. This is a really good time to rest up, to review, to rehash, to go over things that you've already started. Starting new projects right now is not really and a good idea is signing contracts, though. If you are offered a new job, go for it. I mean, I don't want you saying, I can't take this new job because Sirena said, I can't, and now you're not eating and your children are starving because you didn't take your job. Take it. Just know that in a few months, the job description, obligations, okay, and the length of time and hours and all that is going to be renovated and changed, probably at the next Mercury retrograde. Okay, so don't be surprised. And maybe you want that to happen. Maybe you just want it for a stepping stone right now. This is a good time to renegotiate things of the past. So, because it's going to hit, the North Node, we're going to have people from the past come into our lives, all right? And it's all, it never fails. Usually it's an air sign. Okay, since it could be a water sign because, too, Gemini starts retrograde at 3 degrees Cancer. So that means any water signs or air signs could be coming back into our lives and wanting to renegotiate, their situation. Maybe it was lover, and then now it's turned to, they want to just say, hey, I would need some closure, and I want to have a friendship with you. Or maybe, things didn't get to turn out as the way it was. So the person comes in and says, hey, I really, really thought about why we separate, especially maybe because of the eclipses and everything. And it's like, I'm willing to make those compromises. I promise, and hope to God, cross my heart, let's try it again, okay? So when we're re-going to the past, that's fine. And starting a new contract with the past, that is going to be more optimal and have more success than if we start something completely new, okay? Now, also during this time, since it is dealing with communications, give yourself extra time to send in that check. But someone's probably saying, who sends in checks anymore? We do it all by online. Well, do it a couple days before because you don't want to have a computer crash. You don't want the place having a computer crash and not having your payment in. Make sure you print out, okay, during this time, any payment receipts, if possible, or emails that say that you did it. All right, know that sometimes the emails might get lost and accidentally junked. All right, or maybe purposefully they didn't want to hear you from you. Okay, so make sure you double check and you have proof of everything that you're doing during this time. If you're going to travel, if you could take everything on board, as luggage, on hand luggage on the airplane, better, just to be on the safe side, or anything important, you might want to take it with you on the airplane instead of just putting in the regular luggage, to be boarded by the workers. So this is a very good time to do a checkup on your health and see what's going on. People are going to be coming out with colds a lot because of the lungs. It's with Gemini, especially if you're in certain areas where it's very warm and then you go to work in the air conditioner area, which is very unhealthy because it's recycled toxic breath. Oh, but there's filters. Does those filters actually say, oh, I got this? carbon dioxide, and I got this carbon monoxide, and I got this virus, and I got this bacteria. No, it doesn't. Hello. Okay. So, know that from that constant cold, hot, remember it's very unnatural. It's not something as humans are really used to. Going, why am I doing all my life? Not in your DNA. Okay. So from generations to generations, and that affects us too. Um, let's see, so make sure that your children are being healthy because you know washing their hands. Do not use that antibacterial gel. What you're going to end up doing is what happened to the Native Americans when the Spaniards and the English came over, is because then you're scraping yourself possibilities, because it's antibacterial. We have good bacteria also that is necessary to protect us, and so bacteria doesn't necessarily mean all negative. Okay, so you could be actually scraping away your barrier system, and you're not creating also a healthy barrier that is slowly, to strengthen your immune system. So that constantly, you notice the people who are like so anal, more paranoid about getting dirty and all that are usually the ones who are more sick. Okay, it's time to be outside. Remember, if you're having allergy problems and panic attacks and all that, think about what is it that you are feeling attacked by, okay? And really do some energy clearance with that. Come see me or someone else, or someone else from Celestial Soul Wellness. We got several people around the world that can help you, okay, with different languages. So you're more than welcome. And, so we could do some digging to find out what's going on and release all that and fill you up with loving, healing light. Now, let's go through the actual horoscopes, zodiac signs, I mean. So, Aries, this is happening in your third house, okay? And in your third house, this is all about cousins and your siblings and communications we already talked about. Everything that we had mentioned before still stands, all right? And so with your traveling and writing, and maybe you're taking a community class in the area and you're sharing that, with someone else, or you're teaching one. Could be, or you're going to read some books around the area or get involved with the neighborhood. Taurus, this is getting involved in your second house. This is your second house, is your personal finances and also your house of morals. Remember, it's dealt, Taurus is really, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and interesting enough that it's going to, Venus will be in Taurus during this time. And so, and you're going to be having people from the past come in and kind of question what are your moral issues. Not necessarily question you, but maybe you question yourself because you're comparing your belief systems with theirs to see if it fits in. And why is it that you fear those belief systems? Is it because you just don't know how to maneuver, or it will make you an outcast, or it just seems completely off and wrong? So those are things you're going to be going over. Cancer, no, Gemini, this is in your first house, so your physical appearance, the way you come off, the way you express yourself, including your hands, could go back to a situation that you did before. Maybe you were wearing glasses, you put on contacts, you're going to wear glasses again. Maybe you were a brunette, you went blonde, you're going to be a brunette again. Okay, something, but you're going to do something different physically with yourself, okay, to project some another part of yourself and share it. Cancer, this is in your 12th sector, this is a time that you're going to repose, to rest, or really take some time out, really make connection with the universe, okay, and with our divine creator and all the different planes and dimensions of the wonderful, universe and this lifetime has to offer. So really make sure and try and get your chakras cleansed and open, cleansed and balanced, and then close again. So that way you are always grounded and taking some time to yourself. Leos, this is in your house, 11th house of goals and friends. And so maybe you're going to start a new, go back to an old soccer team you were part of. Or you're going to leave the soccer team and go back to the baseball, or maybe you're doing that anyway naturally just because it's off season. All right. And so these people, this group will help you get towards the goal that you want to get to. Maybe you're going to go back to a goal that you had in mind before instead of what you decided to go now. Okay. And that's quite all right. That's the fun thing about Mercury retrograde is revisiting certain things of the past to make sure it is still working for us in the present and to guide us for the future. And Virgo, this is in your 10th house of public display, and authorities in your career. So, either, anything that you had started in the beginning of the year and you're going, okay, is this what I really want? Is this working for me? Maybe a boss is leaving, or maybe you are becoming a boss, okay? And I would say it would be a masculine boss, okay, that would be leaving or authority figure in your life. So, you know, and that's quite all right, because you're ready to step up to the plate, like they say. Okay, it's your turn to shine. And so let's continue here. After Virgo, what do we have? Libra. Libra, this is in your ninth house of long distance traveling, of faraway cultures, okay? And so if you're traveling, wow, take me with you. And since it's somewhere you've gone before, has to be, or you studied about, you'll be my perfect guide, right? Okay, and this is also to connecting to the higher self and connecting to our divine creator. Remember, there's a very big difference of religious connection and spiritual connection. Spiritual connection is really being and doing what our ascended masters and Jesus Christ was doing. It's not just believing and saying, "Oh, if I say their name so many times, I'm saved." That is like giving glory and praise to the golden calf. It doesn't work that way. It is being within us and finding that heaven within you, that bliss and happiness. Okay, and you'll be fine with that and continue with that. And you're going to, really important, like we said, balance is really necessary. So open up your pineal gland, okay, and massaging it, do some tapping with it, and that would really help, okay? So continuing right along, we got Scorpio. It's going to be hitting your eighth house, all right? And so you love transforming. You always like to transform. And the nice thing is it's going to be a little bit more superficial instead of the heaviness things that you've had to deal with in the past or have dealt with, okay, with the eclipses. So you are getting a chance to really and this is other people's finances. That's really nice because just make sure you're going over those contracts and making sure you read all the dotted I's and crossed T's and fine print before you make any agreements. Maybe you're paying off certain, joint finances. Could be student loan, car, house, okay, credit cards. Those are all joint finances. Yeah, if it deals with a big lender, not just from a partner, business partner, romantic partner, okay? And so you're getting all that paid off and everything, and or maybe you found out you had a new one and you didn't know about it. Oops. Okay. And so you're taking care of all those little details, and that's very important. This is also the house of sex. And I don't mean gender. I mean that wonderful transfer of energy. So perhaps you're taking a tantra class, okay, or a yoga class, a class where you get to really develop a better understanding and implement you know, the masculine and feminine essence and understanding that interchange. It doesn't matter if you're a heterosexual or a homosexual couple, is still one person still projects masculine energy and the other one's still going to project the feminine energy essence and how that works together to feed, okay, and to give more energy and populate the world with that energy, okay, if it comes out as a child or as projects and creativity. Shakira once, when she had this one album coming out years ago, and she goes, "I am pregnant again with a new album," because that's really what it means. I am ready to project and give birth to a new project and creativity. And so that's what it's all about too, okay? So now we have, after Scorpio, we have Sagittarius. And this is happening in your seventh house, okay? Of partnerships. Remember, that could be romantic, business, and even open enemies. Open enemies mean ones that someone you're going to court, okay, and have to deal with certain things regarding that. And it could be your marriage partner. When I say romantic partners, it's usually going to be a partner that you have a contract with. You're living with or you're married with. So if you're really dating, it's not happening yet, okay, unless you decided to um, buy something together, all of a sudden, then all of a sudden there's a contract, okay, and an understanding. So be aware of that. And so the ideas and your needs are changing of what it is that you had in um, and this contract from before. So maybe you married someone who needed to be a great cook because you were working all the time and you weren't going to be able to cook, and you needed someone to cook for, you and the children and themselves, and they wouldn't mind. But now let's say, 20 years later, you are like almost retired, working half time, and you could do the cooking, and you have other needs. You want someone who's going to go running with you. And well, you're going to have to either explain that and have them grow with you, or you're going to have to make certain adjustments and find different partners for that sections of your life. Okay? Or say completely, thank you for the journey. I respect you so much. I love you so much. It would be wrong for me to keep you in this relationship because I would be holding you back and not allowing you to grow. And a lot of people think that sometimes divorce is negative. It's negative to lie, to say, yes, I love you when you don't, because you're also teaching your children to live that lie. And that negativity is a domino effect, generations and generations and generations. And really think, if you are miserable in a relationship, would you want your children to do that? Probably not. Okay? So show by example, really. And so, love needs to really come in from within ourselves first. We need to complete ourselves, not look for love outside. We need to complete ourselves, and we can share that with other people, share that love. But if you're looking for happiness from other people and for other people to love you, there's something wrong. Come see me. We'll take a look at your chart, and we'll get you on some life coaching and get you going again and get you all brand new, sparkling new. Okay, continuing on. Capricorn, this is going to be in your sixth house of everyday life. Okay, so it also deals with pets and servants or co-workers. Hopefully you don't have any, but slaves. And your health, your daily routine. So really, this is a good time to check what's going on with your lungs, okay? Make sure, you're taking a lung cleanser, is everything going through, breathing in your circulatory system, okay? Make sure you're creating flexibility with your hands and stretching a lot, especially if you're always on the computer, okay, and your shoulders. Do some workout, do some yoga, martial arts. Get that flexibility going, okay? And remember, the healthier you are, the better life you can have, and a better person and happier person you are to be around. They always say a friend really puts up with all your crap. It doesn't say anything, doesn't mind. A real friend wouldn't put out crap. A real friend would check themselves first before having the audacity to share such negativity. So that way no one would have to deal with that negativity. A real grounded person will check themselves and change their perspective and realize this is just part of life and they're not a victim. So remember all those things, Capricorn. You like to take time away, and this is some time you need to take away and focus on you, your health, and what is going on, okay? Make sure you're stretching your legs and all that. Check in now with your pets. See what's going on there. And also, too, with your aunts and uncles. This is you're going to be participating a lot with them. So, and get yourself going, okay? And let's see, next one after Capricorn, we have Aquarius in the fifth house, and that's going to be your children, okay? And entertainment and romantic fun partners. So maybe you're going to have issues dealing with your children. Maybe you're having situations going on with a romantic partner. Maybe you're going to go see a play that you really liked many years ago, and now you get a chance to go see that play again with your children that they didn't get to go see before, or with a love partner, romantic partner. But you're going to be doing a lot of entertaining and be getting involved in the entertainment, music, and movies and all that, and that'll be fun for you, okay? And so, because you're a social butterfly and you like that, this time you just get to bring other people involved with you. Maybe it's your romantic partner and children, and maybe they're getting to know one another, and that would be great also. So moving right along, we have And last one, Pisces. Okay, and this is happening in your fourth house. In your fourth house, okay, it's about all about where the heart flame is, the home flame, the hearth. And so home is where you lay your head, okay, on. And that is good. And so this is also connection with your mother. Are you communicating? Are you really showing the respect that you need? Is there miscommunication? Are you doing new work around the home? Okay, maybe you're making it a little bit more airier, not so cluttered, or making it more dreamy the way you would like to express yourself. Okay, maybe there's something going on with the windows and air since it's air sign a little, you know, and you're being more involved in that and also developing who you are, your responsibility to yourself. Remember, parents have certain expectations of us, and that's not to hurt us, but so that way we can be contributing members to society. It seems a little bit debilitating or controlling, but as long as they still allow us to be our unique, creative self, then it's okay because we do need guidelines of, hey, we shouldn't murder other people. Hey, if we put our hand on the fire too long, we might get burned, you know. And so those are good things to remember and to apply. So once again, I would like to thank you. Remember, these things will have more effect on you, Mercury retrograde, if it's your ascendant, your moon, your sun sign, or any personal planets, even your north or south node. And do know that, I'm always appreciative of all your support and donations. Because of them, I get to provide these videos for everyone else. So anything, even if it's a penny or two, a penny for your thoughts, a nickel for a dime, and I'm no, no, nickel for a kiss and a dime to say that you love me. That's great. Send it to Sirena Celestial Soul Wellness at gmail.com, either through Square Up or PayPal. I'm very appreciative. Contact me if you need some coaching. Life, things are happening, and maybe no one else understands and there's something different going on. We can look at your astrology chart. I could read you, see what's going on, throw some tarots, okay? Ask the pendulum and see what's going on with you. Maybe it's just a phase. Maybe it's a lifetime change and transformation. How exciting, you know? And I'm available for motivation speaking and lectures for businesses, one-on-one, for clients, and for group sessions. We're also available. I say we, Kuipo Hula. We are a part of my Hawaiian group, and we do Hawaiian dancing. And so get in touch with us. So we're here in California, and we're available for individual, okay, or for group, for birthday parties, picnics, and things like that. We have all ages. You can hire us just for the little kids, for the teenagers, for the adults, or mixed group, okay, or as many as possible. And so it's very exciting. Contact me again at Sirena Celestial Soul Wellness at gmail.com or give me a call. Okay, follow me on Facebook on facebook.com/Sirena Nereida. And thank you again for watching. Chasita.